Hey guys, what's up? I want to make a little video today about some recommendations I had for gear. I get questions here and there about what type of shoe, what type of weight belt, other stuff like that. So I was going to make this video kind of focusing on that. When I first started doing CrossFit, there wasn't a whole lot of options out there. Now there's this whole industry built around catering to functional fitness, CrossFit, whatever, Spartan races, all that kind of stuff. They're all kind of lumped in together, and there's just massive amounts of gear. So I kind of want to make a little clarifying video statement, whatever you want to call it, about what I think works best, or what has helped me over time. When I first started, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of options, so we worked out in chucks. We had swim trunks, and we had t-shirts. We didn't have dry fit or shoes for lifting, shoes for this. So we were pretty limited, but we got along fine, and everybody survived. And I don't know if it's a quantum leap, all this other gear that they have now, but it does help in a way, and if you like it, then that's cool too. I'm going to start off with shoes. Seems to be the most asked question, also probably the most important thing. Like I said, we started off and we did everything in chucks, and I still feel like these are probably the best. Chucks or Vans, basically the same shoe, essentially. Why they're good, flat all the way through, right? Helps you more like your real foot, right? Not a lot of cushion in these soles. There's a little, but not a lot, right? And the front end here a little bit wider, so your toes can go out a little bit wider. It's not good to have your toes narrow, just for your foot health. There's these other shoes like this, and they give away. So when you're doing weightlifting and stuff, there's a lot of give, and especially heavy weights. They're just not recommended. Just kind of gives, and it's not giving your foot a good contact with the ground, and also it can lead to injury. And see, this kind of thing kind of goes back and forth a little bit like that. So that's just not really good for a lot of the things we do here, weightlifting and whatnot. Good for running though, excellent for running, I guess, because it's got a lot of flex in this toe. But anyway, back to this one. This is probably the best. I like these the best. I wear these all the time. You can get these for, they're about $50 for regular chucks, or about the same for the Vans. And you can actually get the knockoff versions for about $20 at Big Five, and I wore those all the time for a long time, and they work just as good. They last me about 6 months, but I wear them all the time. If you only wear them for workouts or whatnot, they probably last you, a couple years, to be honest. And they're good all around shoes. The next one up from there, or down from there, I would say, is these Reeboks, and these are the Reebok 2, and I think these are the best Reeboks that they've made so far. I think they're on 8 now, and I think this is a 7 I got here. These were the best made. I just feel like the width of the toe, the design, and the just the sole and everything, they just feel better. You'd have to try them for yourself to see. If you've wore these, they're a little bit narrow up here. It feels tighter up here for some reason. The sole's a little bit thicker. These are almost like a chuck, just a fancy chuck, thin sole. They don't give too much in the front, so they're not great for running, but you can definitely run, put some miles on these, and it's not going to hinder you too much. These ones, really stiff in the front, and like I said, the sole's a little bigger in the back, so you're elevated your foot. Just not totally happy with the last couple versions of these, but it's all about personal preference. Nike's made their own shoe. It's called the Metcon. This is the latest version, I think, and the first couple versions weren't very good. Stiff, in the front. This one, newer one, seems to be a lot looser in the front. Wider too, also, and they're actually getting better. So each year, or each version that comes out of these two shoes, one is going to be better than the other. I feel like they kind of go back and forth. Right now, actually, these seem to be better. This version, I think these are the 4s, but this version seems to be a lot better right for now. And then who knows? I haven't got the latest Reebok ones, but like I said, it goes back and forth. The best thing to do would be go down to Dick's or wherever you try shoes on Foot Locker, I guess. I don't know if they carry all these, but go in there and try them on and see which one you like better. I'll touch a little bit on these weightlifting shoes. They're very specific. These aren't mine, by the way. Very specific to weightlifting. Olympic lifting, squatting, presses, stuff like that. They're good. They elevate your feet up, so it takes a lot of the pressure off of having if you have tight calves or tight Achilles. These help with that. That's the main reason why people wear them. And also they give you a ton of support, so you don't have to worry about any wobbling. There's no give sliding either way. They're basically bowling shoes, but use them for weightlifting. Not a lot of application for a lot of the workouts we do here, but definitely on lifting days, if you're interested in getting something like that, these are pretty good. They're expensive though. They're about $200. You can get them on clearance or something for cheaper here and there, the older versions. And it's not a necessary thing, but they are nice to have for lifting. Let's see, the next thing to talk about is weight belts. So weight belts come a long way. Back in the day, this is what they sold at all the sporting goods stores. All the sporting goods stores, and so it's wide in the back, narrower in the front. And what they found is these actually aren't very helpful, because where most of the problems happen when people are lifting is the guts, the hernias you get in your guts, right? So what they've done is they've designed the new designs. This is a rope belt. It's fairly straight all the way through, so you get the even support all the way through the whole thing. So this is the new design. These are about $40. This is mine. I like this one a lot. I use it most of the time. And for most of the workouts, unless you're going super, super heavy, this is going to be more than enough for you. There's another option, and this is the old powerlifter thick ass belt. Thick this way and thick this way. It's super supportive. And the problem is it's kind of a pain in the ass to get off and on. This one's super big. But anyway, kind of a pain in the ass to get off and on. The other ones have Velcro, so it's just easy off and on. But anyway, and also too, they're super expensive. This one, I think this particular model is about $200. You can get it for $100, but the main thing you want to get is straight across. It's not a necessary thing unless you're going heavy. When I'm talking about heavy, I'm talking about like 2 times body weight or something like that on a deadlift or a squat. Other than that, it's probably not necessary. And for that matter, we have a couple of these around the gym that anybody can use. I got a couple different sizes, I think, so that's not a problem or issue. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, Rogue sells these. These are about $50. They have some $20 models that are they don't have the camera or whatever, but and these are adequate for just about everything. I have different sizes here too if you want to try them on, see which one fits. We have all different sizes you can see if you want to order your own personally. What else are we talking about? Wrist wraps. So wrist wraps are mainly for support of your wrist, kind of like the weight belt. There's these cloth versions. They go around here. You wrap them up. You can tighten them up as much as you want. You can loosen them up when you're not doing the motion you're doing. If it's like a Metcon with a bunch of different movements and you don't want them tight on your wrist, cutting off your circulation. These are a good model for pretty much everything we do, and you can pick these up online, Amazon, a lot of different fitness websites carry these. There's also another firmer, more like for powerlifters use. These are thicker and you wrap them around, same idea. They don't have as much give as far as loosening and tightening, so you're kind of set into a thing unless you want to adjust it every time you do something. They're fine and they're good, and they're approximately $20 to $30. Pretty good support, actually excellent support. The other ones are less support. One thing though is I wouldn't want to get used to using these all the time. If you're doing like a 75-pound press or snatch or something like that, I wouldn't recommend putting these on all the time unless you have an injury or something going on. Then of course that's a different situation. But all these things, weight belts, you don't want to get like in the habit of just wearing them just to wear them. You know, you want to build up the strength in your wrist and your abs, core, to not need these things all the time. So last thing I'll touch on is knee sleeves. Knee sleeves come in handy, especially as you advance in age. They're helpful. These aren't necessarily for supporting, holding your leg together. There's another version of this that actually wraps around the knee, and those are more for support, holding the knee together. These are more just to actually just keep them warm and also kind of keep them in line. There's a bunch of different versions of these, also colors and varying thicknesses and qualities. You just slip it on your leg, turn it inside out, slip it on, put it over your knee, and it just helps a little bit keeping it, especially if you have like are prone to injuries on the knees. They just kind of help a little bit, and it's not a bad idea. I have to wear them a lot of the time nowadays, especially high reps, wall balls or squats or whatever. I like to wear them just to not have to another thing, one less thing to worry about as far as knees go. I think that's it. People ask a lot about gloves. I don't recommend gloves ever. I was when I first started, we tried everything, all kinds of different things. We got batting gloves, we got golf gloves, we got, what else did we get? Work gloves. We had little pads that we would put on the bar. Those actually kind of help, but I can't find them anywhere. I haven't seen them anywhere. So the main thing is, it's not that bad a thing to have calluses on your hands, and it does help. Everyday life, your grip, just normal day's life, having a good grip with your calluses is not that bad a thing. I know girls kind of shy away from it, but it's actually not that bad. I think that's it. So appreciate you joining me, and if you have any questions, you want to add any comments, you can add below, and I'll see everyone around the box.